Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you to those of you joining us from around the world for news from a Catholic perspective. I'm Lauren Ashburn. President Donald Trump says the work is on to find the nation's next FBI director. He's calling for a replacement for ousted Director James Comey as soon as possible. But lawmakers on the Hill are urging the president to steer clear of appointing any politicians. Correspondent Wyatt Goolsby has more from the White House. Good evening, Wyatt.
Good evening, Lauren. President Trump says the search for a new FBI director is moving rapidly, and a decision could come as early as this week. This as the White House counters more criticism over the timing of Comey's firing.
The developments of the past week, very bothersome, very disturbing to me.
James Clapper, the former director of national intelligence, the latest to criticize President Trump's decision to fire James Comey. He says U.S. institutions are under attack.
Both externally, and that's the big news here, is the Russian interference in our election system. And I think as well our institutions are under assault internally.
But UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says President Trump had every right to fire Comey. And some conservatives, including John Malcolm, think the president made the right call.
Within the FBI, you had people who believed that Director Comey was simply too political.
And Malcolm says the timing of the decision is unremarkable.
If the goal here was to try to stop an ongoing investigation into wrongdoing by the Trump administration, I predict that it won't work.
Democrats and a handful of Republicans are still calling for a special prosecutor to look into Russian meddling in the 2016 election.
To have that special prosecutor, people would breathe a sigh of relief because then there would be a real independent person overlooking the FBI director.
Senator Chuck Schumer now defending Comey, even though he said he had lost confidence in the FBI director in November. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein will brief the Senate Thursday. Rosenstein has become the focus of much attention since President Trump based his decision in part on a memo drafted by Rosenstein. He'll be answering questions about that memo and the circumstances surrounding Comey's dismissal. Lauren?